I need you to listen to me carefully. Not while you're scrolling, not while you're half distracted. Really listen. If you're proud of the fact that you've never missed a day of work, that you always show up, that people can rely on you, I used to be proud of that too. My name is Daniel. I'm 78 years old, and I never missed a single day of work for 43 years. Not when I was sick, not when my father died, not when my son was born. I thought that made me strong, disciplined, respectable. But I need you to understand something. It wasn't strength. It was fear. And it cost me more than you can imagine. Let me tell you what it really cost. I grew up believing that missing work was weakness. My father worked in a steel factory 40 years. Rain or snow, fever or pain, he showed up. I remember watching him come home at night, his hands cracked, his shoulders bent, too tired to speak. But do you know what I remember most? The silence. He sat at the dinner table, staring at nothing, physically there, mentally somewhere else. And I told myself, when I grow up, I'll be stronger. What I didn't realize, I wasn't becoming stronger. I was becoming him, and I didn't even notice it happening. By the time I was 35, I was the man everyone depended on. If something went wrong, they called me. If someone didn't show up, I covered it. If there was overtime, I took it. I told myself I was building security, building a future, building stability for my family. But here's something nobody warns you about. When you become the reliable one, people stop seeing you as a person. You become a function, a solution, a machine. I remember the first time my daughter asked, "Dad, are you coming to my recital?" And I said, "I'll try." I didn't try. I went to work. And that "I'll try" slowly became who I was at home. Present in body, absent in spirit. At 42, I was promoted. Corner office, better salary, more responsibility. People shook my hand like I had won something, and I believed I had. That night I came home with a bottle of wine to celebrate. My wife smiled. My son nodded. My daughter said, "That's nice, Dad." That's nice. Not, "We're proud of you." Not, "We missed you." Just, "That's nice." And for the first time, I felt something I didn't expect. Not pride. Distance. It was subtle, quiet, but it was there. The higher I climbed at work, the less space there was for me at home. I told myself it was temporary. This is just the busy season. Once things settle down, once I secure this next contract, there was always a next thing, always a reason to delay being present. I missed birthdays, anniversaries, small, ordinary Tuesdays that never come back. And here's what I didn't understand at the time. Life is not made of big milestones. It's made of ordinary Tuesdays, quiet dinners, short conversations in the car, 10-minute walks after sunset. That's where connection lives. And I traded those moments for meetings no one remembers. The moment it hit me wasn't dramatic. There was no shouting, no slammed doors, no final warning. It was quieter than that. My son stopped asking if I was coming. He just assumed I wasn't. That's when you know you've been absent too long, when people stop expecting you. I remember walking past his room one evening. The door was half open. He was inside, laughing on the phone with a friend, and I realized something. He had built a world that didn't include me. Not out of anger, out of adaptation. Children adapt. Wives adapt. Families adapt. to your absence, and they stop waiting. Something strange happens when you finally slow down. The noise fades, the meetings stop, the deadlines disappear, the phone doesn't ring as much, and at first it feels peaceful. But then something else shows up. Silence. And in that silence, there's nowhere left to hide, no targets to chase, no emails to answer, no urgency to distract you. Just you. I remember sitting in my living room one afternoon after I retired. No schedule, no pressure, no one needing anything from me. And instead of relief, I felt uncomfortable. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't know who I was without my work. For decades, I introduced myself the same way. I'm Daniel, I work in finance. Or before that, I'm with the firm. Or simply, I'm in management. That was my identity. Not a father, not a husband, not a man who loved music or long walks or quiet mornings, just a job title. And when the job disappeared, so did the person I thought I was. That's the danger no one talks about. When you build your entire identity around being useful, around being productive, around being needed, what happens when you're no longer required? Who are you when nobody is asking for you? That question terrified me more than any deadline ever did. It took me almost a year after retirement to understand what was really bothering me. It wasn't boredom. It wasn't aging. It was grief. Grief for the man I could have been. Grief for the school plays I missed, for the dinners I rushed through, for the evenings my wife sat across from me while I checked emails in my head. I thought I was building security, but what I was really building was distance. Distance between me and my children, distance between me and the woman who loved me, distance between me and myself. And the hardest part? No one forced me to do it. I chose it, every single time. If I could go back, I wouldn't work less. I would fear less. I wouldn't miss work to be rebellious. I would miss it when it truly mattered. I would sit longer at the dinner table. I would leave the office when my son asked me to play. I would choose presence over performance. Because here's what I finally understood. Work will replace you in a week, maybe less. But the people who love you, they feel your absence for a lifetime. I never missed a day of work, but I missed moments that never came back. And if you remember anything from what I've said, let it be this. Being reliable is admirable, but being present is irreplaceable. Now ask yourself something honestly. If your job disappeared tomorrow, who would you still be? And would that be enough?